Good morning, sir.
Good morning, all of you. The last class we have seen the pipeline operation will improve the utilization. So in this scenario, we have seen there are 3 packets in the pipeline. So here, no need to wait for the acknowledgement for the transmitted packet. It continuously transmit 3 packets in a pipeline in sequence. So you can observe this scenario here that we have seen already in our last class. So starting of packet 0, end of packet 1, starting of packet 2, starting of packet 3. At the transmitting side and the receiving side, first bit of packet 1 received, first bit of end of last bit of first packet and first bit of second packet. Then at the time it sends an acknowledgement for the first packet. Likewise, you have seen this scenario. In this, you look at the 3 packet pipelining will increase the utilization by a factor of 3. So earlier it is 0.00027. So because of 3 packets we are sending in the pipeline, the utilization is increased by a factor of 3. So there are 2 types of pipeline protocols. Those are the real protocols we are going to implement as part of this transport layer. One is go back and protocol and the second one is select to repeat protocol. So these are the pipeline protocol. These are here there is no need to wait for the acknowledgement from the receiver. The sender always sends the packets in a pipeline. If you look at the go back and protocol, the scenario is same in the first thing in both service select to repeat as well as go back and. So the sender can have up to n unacknowledged packets in pipeline. So there are n number of unacknowledged packets in pipeline at the sender side. So here also can have up to n number of unacknowledged packets in pipeline in both cases, in both select to repeat as well as in go back and. So here in go back and protocol, the receiver only sends cumulative acknowledgements. But in the case of select to repeat, the receiver sent individual acknowledgement. That is the first thing you need to keep in mind. The difference between these go back and select to repeat protocols. So in a go back and it sends cumulative acknowledgement, but in the case of select to repeat, it sends individual acknowledgement for every packet. The sender has timer for oldest unacknowledged packet in go back and. In the case of select to repeat, sender maintains timer for every unacknowledged packet because here it is a individual acknowledgement for every packet in select to repeat. That's why there is a timer for every unacknowledged packet at the sender in select to repeat. But in the case of go backend, the sender maintains a timer for oldest unacknowledged packet only. But in select to repeat, sender maintains timer for every unacknowledged packets. If you look at the go backend, when the timer expires, it retransmits all the unacknowledged packets. Similarly, in the case of select to repeat, when the timer expires, it retransmits only the unacknowledged packet. So whenever there is a there is no acknowledgement for a single packet, whenever the timer expires, in select to repeat, the sender retransmits only that particular unacknowledged packet. But in the case of go backend, when the timer expires, it transmits all unacknowledged packets. All unacknowledged packets. That's why here it maintains timer for oldest unacknowledged packet. It transmits all unacknowledged packets whenever the timer expires. So this is the basic difference between go backend and select to repeat pipeline protocols. So these are the pipeline protocols. These are the things you need to keep in mind. So go back and cumulative acknowledgement, select to repeat, individual acknowledgement for every packet. So whenever timer expires in go back and it transmits all the unacknowledged packets. But in select to repeat, whenever the timer expires at the center side, it transmits the concerned unacknowledged packet. Let us look at this go back and pipeline protocol at the center side. Here let us assume there are k-bit sequence number in every packet header. As I told you many times, the packet header consists of usually source address, source IP address, destination IP address, source port number, destination port number. So in addition to this, it also consists of some header control information as well as sequence number. That is a very important thing. That sequence number is used to discard the duplicate packets at the receiver side or delete the duplicate packets at the receiver side. That is the purpose of this sequence number. So here we are assuming that there is a k-bit sequence number. K-bit sequence number in every packet header. So sequence number is a part of headers packet. The length of the sequence number is k bits. So let us look at the window of up to n. Consecutive unacknowledged packets are allowed. The window consists of, as we seen already, up to n number of unacknowledged packets. Okay, n number of unacknowledged packets. We can observe in this scenario the green color packets are indicating that they are already acknowledged packets. Yellow, they already sent from sender to receiver, but not yet acknowledged. The blue color packets are indicating they are usable, not yet sent. They are in buffer. So green already acknowledged, yellow sent but not yet acknowledged. Blue usable, not yet sent. They are in buffer. They are next. They will those packets will send from sender to receiver. These blank things indicating not usable. These are the differentiation of packets in this scenario. You can observe here. Green, these are already sent and acknowledged. Yellow, sent, not yet acknowledged. Usable, not yet sent. Not usable. You can observe here the send base. Next, sequence number. You can look at the window size here. The window size is n. So these are all. Usually, this window size consists of this window can have up to n number of unacknowledged packets. So here, as I told you, go back and there is a cumulative acknowledgement. So acknowledgements. So acknowledgements all packets up to including sequence number n. Let us say sequence number 10. If the receiver sends a acknowledgement for with sequence number 10. That means that all the packets are delivered correctly up to sequence number 10. It sets a cumulative acknowledgement. So it may receive duplicate acknowledgement. The receiver, because of receiver will see. There is a timer for oldest in-flight packet. In-flight means in the pipeline packet. So here in go backend, the sender maintains a timer for unacknowledged packet. Unacknowledged packet. Timeout of n. Then whenever the timer expires, you retransmit packet m and all higher order sequence number packets in the window. So whenever there is a timer expires at the sender side, you transmit packets n as well as all higher order sequence number packets. So this scenario you can keep in mind. So here in this go back n, GBN stands for go back n, the acknowledgement only. So always sends acknowledgement for correctly received packets with highest order sequence number. With highest order sequence, let us say the packets 1 to 10 are received correctly. Then the receiver sends acknowledgement for packet number 10 because that is the highest in order sequence number. That means all the packets till to sequence number 10 are received correctly. Okay, here whenever that's why here acknowledgement only always sends acknowledgement for correctly received packets with highest in order sequence number. That is very important. Highest in order sequence number, in order. Okay, keep it in one in order, we'll see this scenario. So there is a possibility of generating duplicate acknowledgements. You need only remember expected sequence numbers. So there is a possibility of out of order packets. Okay, if there is out of order, there is a possibility of discarding the packets or re-acknowledgement packet with highest in order sequence number. No receiver buffering here, it will simply discard the packets if it is out of order sequence. We will see with a scenario, don't worry. You can look here, go back and in action. Look at here, the window size is 4. We assume that window size is 4. Packets 0, 1, 2, 3. Sender side and the receiver side. Okay, here sender it sends packet 0, packet 1, packet 2, packet 3. And in this pipeline, we are assuming there are 4 packets. It sends the packets from 0 to 3, one by one after the other in sequence. Okay, pipeline protocols, right? Pipeline, in a pipeline, it will send packet 0, packet 1, packet 2, packet 3. At the receiver side, you can observe here, whenever the packet is received, it sends the acknowledgement. Packet 0 received correctly, send acknowledgement 0. Packet 1 received correctly, send acknowledgement 1. Packet 2 is lost here. Packet 2 is lost, right? Then packet 3 is received. Packet 3 received. Discard because out of order sequence, not in order sequence. Okay, it discards the packet number 3 and resends the acknowledgement 1. Packet 1 is acknowledgement 1 means all the packets up to packet number 1 or sequence number 1 received correctly. That means 0 received correctly and 1 received correctly. So it is sending 1 means that the packet 2 is not received. Only packet numbers up to 1 received correctly. That means here the packet 2 is lost here. Packet 2 lost, but packet 3 is received. It discards the packet and resends acknowledgement 1. That means only up to packet number 1 are received correctly. Even though packet 3 is received, it discards and sending the message that acknowledgement 1. That means packet 1 is received correctly. Highest order sequence number. Again, packet 4 is received, discard and send acknowledgement 1. Packet 5 is received, discard because packet 2 is not received, send acknowledgement 1. Okay, so here it ignores the duplicate acknowledgements. Duplicate acknowledgements are 1, acknowledgement 1, acknowledgement 1, acknowledgement. These are the duplicate acknowledgements of for packets for a packet 1. Here acknowledgement 0, it sends packet 4. It means first packet received correctly. Then it sends packet number 4. You can observe here 0 is received correctly, 4 is transmitted, 1 received correctly, packet 5 is transmitted. You can observe the window size here. It moves from left to right. Whenever there is a correct transmission of packet from sender to receiver, whenever it receives the acknowledgement for the concerned packet, the window will move from left to right. Okay, packet 0 received correctly. Packet 0 is relieved from the window size. Then packet 4 will join in that window size. Then acknowledgement for packet 1. Then it moves from left to right. 2, 3, 4, 5 are in window size. So okay, whenever it receives the acknowledgement for packet 3, packet 2, then only it sends packet 6 because see here acknowledgement for packet 2 is not received. That's why it is not transmitting packet 6. It is waiting for the acknowledgement for packet number 2. So meanwhile it is receiving the duplicate acknowledgements. It simply ignore the duplicate acknowledgements. So whenever the timer expires, it retransmit packet 2. You can observe here, whenever the packet 2 timeout, it transmit packet 2. Now we will look at the window size here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Because 0, 1, 1 are transmitted correctly. Packet 2. Acknowledgement for packet 2. Packet 3 received correctly, delivered. Acknowledgement for packet 3. Packet 4. Acknowledgement for packet 4. Packet 5. Acknowledgement for packet 5. Is it clear, ma? Is it clear? Please respond, ma. One minute. One minute, ma. Is it clear, ma? Not, is it clear or not clear? So here in selector, if you go back and there is no buffering. So here in this scenario, packet 0, 1 received correctly, 2 is not received. Then packet 3 and 4 are transmitting from transmitter to receiver. But here the packets are receiving out of order. There is no buffer in this go back and it simply discards the packets and resends the acknowledgement for the correctly received packet. In this scenario, packet 1 is received correctly. That is the highest order sequence number packet received correctly. That's why it is resending the acknowledgement for packet 1, resending acknowledgement for packet 1, resending acknowledgement for packet 1. because packet 2 is not received. It is again packet 3 received, discard. Packet 4 received, discard. Packet 5 received, discard. Okay, see here one is the sequence number or sequence number of the highest ordered packet received correctly. No buffering here, no buffering. So it simply discard the packets. Out of order packets are simply discard. And re-acknowledgement packet with highest in order sequence number. Re-acknowledgement here packet with highest in order sequence number in our scenario is sequence number 2. It discard the packet if it is out of order, and re-acknowledgement packet with the highest in order sequence number. Is it clear, ma?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So while coming to the select to repeat pipeline protocol, select to repeat, the receiver individually acknowledges all correctly received packets. All correctly received packets. So here buffers packets as needed for eventual in order delivery to upper layers. So buffering is there in select to repeat, but in the case of go back and there is no buffering at the receiver side. It simply discard the packets if the packets are received out of order, and it resends the acknowledgement for the highest ordered packet received. Sender only resends packets for which acknowledgement not received. If the acknowledgement is not received for a particular packet, in order sequence. Sender view yellow color sent not acknowledged, green already acknowledged. Here is a mix of packets here. If you look at the receiver view of sequence numbers, pink color out of order packets, but already acknowledged. You can observe the difference. In the case of go back and if the packets are received out of order, those packets are simply discarded or deleted, and it resends the acknowledgement for the highest ordered sequence number packet. But here if the packets are out of order, they are kept in the buffer. They are already acknowledged. So blue color packets are acceptable within the window. You can observe this shaded this one, gray color, expected, not yet received. Expected, not yet received. So finally, not usable. Not usable. The receiver base, sender base. So here there is a buffer at the receiver side. If the packets are received out of order, those packets are kept in the buffer. But in the case of select to repeat, if the packets are received out of order, they are simply receiver simply discard the packets and resend the acknowledgement for the highest ordered sequence number packet that is received correctly. If you look at the select to repeat, you'll see this sender data from the above. If the next available sequence number is in window, send packets, timeout, resend the packet in, then restart the timer. There is a timer for every unacknowledged packet in this select to repeat. So whenever the timer expires, it resends the packet in. If the n is not acknowledged, if the timer for that packet n expires, it retransmit the packet n, resend the packet n, and restart the timer. Here acknowledgement n means, so it marks the packet n as received. If there is an acknowledgement for packet number n, that means that that packet number n is received correctly. If n is smallest unacknowledged packets, advance window base to next unacknowledged sequence number. Here no need to wait for the acknowledgement for the particular packet. Here, if there is no acknowledgement for a particular packet, after the timer expires, it retransmits the packet. So if you look at the receiver side, send the acknowledgements out of order, they kept in the buffer, in order deliver, also deliver buffered in ordered packets, advance window to next not yet received packets. So packet n in acknowledgement, otherwise ignore. We'll see in the scenario, you will come to know. You can observe here in the selective repeat in action, the window side, there are 4 packets here. So each packet transmitted one by one, sending packet 0, packet 1, packet 2. Here also we are considering the same. Packet 2 is lost. Please look at here now. Packet 2 is lost. Packet 0 received, transmitted and received correctly. Send acknowledgement 0. Packet 1 received correctly. Send acknowledgement 1. So whenever the acknowledgement for the packet 0, it sends packet 4. 1 received correctly, sends packet 5. Okay. Then here we are assuming that packet 2 is lost. Packet 2 is lost. Packet 3 is also received correctly. Because it is out of order, that is kept in the buffer and it sends acknowledgement for packet 3. Right? Acknowledgement for packet 3. Record acknowledgement 3 received. After that, the packet 2 timer expires. Then it resending the packet 2. Resending the packet 2. Here 4 is out of order, 3 is out of order, kept in buffer. 4 is out of order, kept in buffer, but it acknowledges packet 3 is acknowledgement for packet 3 because it is received correctly. Acknowledgement for packet 4, acknowledgement for packet 5. Even though here these are received out of order, we are not going to discard these packets. They are kept in the buffer because they are received out of order. So here packet 2 timer expires, it sends the packet 2, delivers packet 2. Okay, packet 3, packet 4, packet 5 also delivered correctly. Then it sends acknowledgement for packet 2. Okay, what happens when packet 2, acknowledgement for packet 2 arrives? It can transmit the next packet. What is the next packet here? Packet 6, 7 and 8. Here sending window after receipt, you can observe here packet 0 received correctly, 1 received correctly, 2 received correctly. If packet 3 is lost, packet 3 is lost, if there is no problem, it will transmit the next packet. So here is it accept the packet number with sequence number 0? Here we need to maintain more number of sequence number in this transport layers. Initially we used only 2 sequence number 0 and 1. So while coming to RDT defined 0, we need to use more number of sequence numbers. Here in this scenario we are assuming that the window size is 3. So here the loss of acknowledgements for packet 0, packet 1 and packet 2. But the packets are received correctly at the receiver. So whenever there is a timeout, it retransmit the packet 0 again because the acknowledgement is lost. Acknowledgement is lost. Okay, here the receiver can't see the sender side. The receiver behavior is identical in both cases. Okay, it's not going to look at what happens at the sender side. Here we see the sequence numbers here where is 0, 1, 2, 3. The window size is 3. The receiver sees no difference in two scenarios. The duplicate data accepted as new in the second bit. So what relationship between sequence number size and window size to avoid in problem B? Here we need to use more number of sequence numbers actually. Here we have used only window size 3 and sequence numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3. After 0, 1, 2, 3 we are following the same sequence 0, 1, 2. That's why there is a problem with the sequence numbers here. So here it may think that there is the packet may be duplicate. Again it is receiving packet 0, packet 1 like that. Okay, but it's a new packet in this case. So because here the acknowledgement signals are lost after timeout, the sender again retransmitting the packets. Here 0 is again retransmitting. Here the 0 means the new packet. So after the first 3 packets received correctly, it is the window is moving from left to right. It is again transmitting the next packet 0. Here it is next packet 0. 0 means this is the next packet. Next packet. Here 0 means same packet. 0 means same packet because there is a loss of acknowledgement signal in the communication medium. Actually these the packets are received correctly. 0, 1, 2 packets are received correctly in this scenario. But because of acknowledgement lost in the communication medium, the transmitter is again resending the packet. Again resending the packet means there is a duplicate packet. Okay, but here the packet 0 means new packet. New packet. So the receiver sees no difference. In the first case, 0 means there's a new packet. In the second case, duplicate packet. The duplicate data accepted as new in B. It thinks that it's a new packet. Actually, this packet is a duplicate packet sending from sender to receiver, but the receiver sees that it's a duplicate. No. It's actually a duplicate data, but the receiver receives that it as a new packet. This is actually duplicate packet, but the receiver treats that packet as a new packet. Here actually it is a new packet. The receiver sees no difference. In the first scenario, this is the actual packet, the correct packet transmitted from sender to receiver. But here the 0 means it is actually a duplicate packet, but the receiver receives that packet as a new packet. Okay, yeah, that's why here there should be some relationship between sequence number and size of the window to avoid this dilemma in select to repeat. Okay, we'll see. So this is about pipeline protocols. We'll see that relationship in our next class now. What is the relationship? So these are the two pipeline protocols. Go back in and select to repeat. Go back and cumulative acknowledgement. Select to repeat. Individual acknowledgement. Go back and there is no buffer at the receiver. If the packets are received out of order, it simply discards the packets. But in the case of select to repeat, if the packets are received out of order, it maintains the unordered packets in the buffer. Unordered packets in the buffer. So this is about go back and select to repeat pipeline protocols. So the next topic in this our unit 3 is connection oriented transport protocol. Connection oriented means transmission control protocol. We have seen the principles of reliable transfer. In the principles of reliable data transfer, we have seen reliable data transfer protocols RDT 1.0, RDT 2.0, RDT 2.1, 2.2, and 3.0. There we have seen stop and wait protocol. It sends one packet and waits for the acknowledgement from the receiver. So whenever there is a acknowledgement, then only it will transmit the next packet. The stop and wait that reduces the utilization at the center side. That's why we are going for pipeline protocols. The pipeline protocols increases the utilization factor. The pipeline protocols are select go back in and select to repeat protocols. So the next topic as part of our unit 3 is connection oriented transport. That means connection oriented protocols. The best the one of the connection oriented protocol is transmission control protocol. Transmission control for these things. In this we are going to discuss what is the TCP segment structure and how this reliable data transfer is achieved in this transmission control protocol, and what is meant by flow control in TCP, because there is a connection oriented, there is a possibility of flow control. Finally, how the connection management takes place in transmission control protocol. So if you look at the overview of this TCP, what is TCP full form? What is the full form of TCP? No full form. Transfer control, transmission control. Transmission control protocol. What is the full form of RFC? RFC, request for comments. Let us look at the overview of this TCP. If it is a point-to-point communication, only one sender and one receiver. Point-to-point, right? If it is reliable in order byte stream, no message boundaries. It is reliable as well as in order, because there is a connection, dedicated connection between sender and receiver. That definitely there is a possibility of in order byte streaming between sender and receiver. Reliable in order byte stream, no message boundaries. Pipeline. So there is a possibility of TCP conjunction and flow control. Set window size. We will see in detail. Full duplex. Full duplex means bidirectional. In the same connection. There are three modes, right? One is simplex mode, duplex mode, and half duplex mode, and full duplex mode. In simplex means only one way of communication. Half duplex, two ways, but not at the same time. Full duplex, two ways at the same time. So full duplex data means bidirectional data flow in the same connection. MSS means maximum segment size. The segment size is maximum. MSS means maximum segment size. Connection oriented. As TCP is a connection oriented protocol, there is a handshaking between sender and receiver. That means exchanging of control messages between sender and receiver before the data exchange. So after establishing the connection, then only the data exchange between sender and receiver are between two nodes in full duplex mode. In full duplex mode, flow control. The sender will not overwhelm the receiver. That means the receiver data rate must not be more than the receiver. The sender's data rate must not be more than the receiver data rate. If the sender data rate is more than the receiver's data rate, there is a possibility of overflow at the receiver side. The sender will not overwhelm the receiver. So if you look at the TCP segment structure, this is the segment structure of TCP. We call it as TCP segment. If you look at the fields here, first field is source port number 16-bit, destination port number 16-bit, then sequence number of the packet 32-bit sequence number. So how many sequence numbers are possible here? If it is a 32-bit, 2 power 32 number of sequence numbers, right? Then acknowledgement number. Next field is acknowledgement number. So we will see the sequence number. We will count in terms of byte, counting by bytes of data, not segments. Sequence number, acknowledgement number. Sequence number length size should be same as acknowledgement number size. So sequence number, acknowledgement number. Then we'll look at the header length. You can look at here, it is length of the header. The next field is not used. Then U stands for urgent data. U stands for urgent. Next field is urgent data, that is generally not used. A stands for acknowledgement number. Okay, A stands for acknowledgement number. Then here P stands for push data now. P stands for PSH. U stands for URG, means urgent data. Generally that is not used. Then acknowledge is A stands for acknowledge. Acknowledge number. Push data now. Generally not used. P stands for push data now. Then R stands for reset. S stands for synchronize. Okay, reset, synchronization, and finalize. These are the connection establishment commands. Connection establishment commands. Reset, synchronize, and finalize commands. Setup, tear down commands. So these are used to for connection setup as well as connection release. Okay, RSF. Then receiver window, bytes of receiver willing to accept. The total number of bytes the receiver is willing to accept is specified in this receiver's window. Then checksum, as we have seen already, checksum, that is the error control information. That is, as we have seen in the UDP, that is the error control method. That is error detection especially, that is not used for error correction. Then URG, urgent data pointer. Then some optional information, that is variable length. Finally, application data is also variable length. So there is no restriction on the size of the segment in this TCP because it is a connection oriented protocol. So this is the TCP segment structure. So you need to remember the segment structure here. What is the TCP segment? In the UDP, you have seen the segment structure. Now let us look at the TCP sequence numbers as well as acknowledgement numbers. So if we look at the sequence numbers, byte stream, number of first bytes in segments data, then acknowledgements, sequence number of next byte expected from other side. There is a cumulative acknowledgement here. So we'll see these after discussing this TCP segment structure. We'll see the other things. There are 4 things we are going to discuss here: segment structure, reliable data transfer, flow control, as well as connection management. We are seeing this segment structure now. We will see the other things in our next class. Okay, man. We'll see other things in our next class. Okay. Reliable data transfer. Then flow control in TCP. Okay. So these are the other things we are going to discuss as part of our unit 3. Is it okay, ma'am? Is it clear till now? Please respond, ma'am.